DoD's Natural Resources Program supports the military's combat readiness mission by ensuring continued access to realistic training landscapes in diverse settings. The program provides policy, guidance, and oversight for managing our nation's priceless land, air, and water resources to achieve this goal. Hundreds of defense installations across the United States provide habitats for nearly 1,000 imperiled plants and animals, including nearly 450 on the threatened and endangered species list. That represents more species per acre than any other federal land management agency. Proactive management on DoD's 29 million acres helps both the species and the military, since healthy lands are essential for mission-critical activities. In Hawaii, the Oahu Army National Resource Program is pioneering work for endangered plant propagation. The Army manages 63 federally listed endangered plant species on Oahu. Staff maintain 3 greenhouses growing new plants that will be returned to the wild or stored to preserve genetic material. Burrowing owls are common on many DoD installations in the western United States. Although populations have declined throughout the West and Canada, they are increasing elsewhere. DoD has taken thousands of burrowing owl samples at Western installations and analyzed genetic markers. This helps to document owl movement patterns and determine how DoD should best manage its significant burrowing owl populations. In the Southeast, the gopher tortoise is federally listed under the Endangered Species Act in the western portion of its range, but it is not yet listed in the eastern portion. To keep lands open for training, DoD joined with state and federal partners to develop a Candidate Conservation Agreement, or CCA. The CCA provides a voluntary, flexible, and range-wide approach to managing and conserving the gopher tortoise in its eastern range. Partnerships are also important when dealing with national issues. In 2009, a team of state and federal partners conducted a large-scale amphibian disease survey on 15 DoD installations along U.S. Highway 66 and U.S. Interstate 64. The team examined the fungus known as Batrachochytrium dendropatitis, or BD. BD has been a major factor in amphibian population declines and extinctions. Amphibian swab results showed higher infection rates at eastern installations and during the wetter seasons. These results will provide national pattern and trend data. National cooperative efforts are also underway for birds. The Coordinated Bird Monitoring Plan is a nationally implemented partnership that allows DoD to manage bird monitoring programs across geospatial boundaries. This is a common data platform for information sharing and an early warning system for airstrikes. Monitoring data facilitates proactive and coordinated management action for species. Aircraft use the same low-altitude airspace as many birds, so avoiding hitting these birds is a serious issue for the military. Each year, the Air Force and Navy combined report at least 3,000 bird strikes, resulting in over $75 million in damage to aircraft. Each time a plane hits a large animal, a large bird, or a large flock of small birds, pilot and passenger lives are put at risk. Throughout the military, personnel from air operations, aviation safety, and natural resources work together to reduce the risk of bird and wildlife strikes. DoD monitored Osprey movements to better understand their use of airspace, habitats, and aircraft collision risks. The project team used a bird strike risk model, advanced satellite tracking technology, and geospatial referencing to better understand Osprey movement at Langley Air Force Base. Using this information, planners can schedule flights at times and locations that minimize the risk of Osprey aircraft collisions. DoD is also working on emerging natural resources issues, such as understanding the effects of white nose syndrome, which could have devastating effects on bat populations across the country, including on DoD installations. Climate change, too, can significantly impact resources, infrastructure, and military readiness. Ongoing efforts provide information, analyses, and tools that DoD resource managers and policymakers need to meet mission and stewardship responsibilities now and into the future.